Welcome to the Military Veterans Network. The guests will bring their knowledge and experience forward to assist the ongoing needs of our brothers and sisters from the military, as well as their highly valued spouses and family members, with an additional goal to educate the civilians, companies, and veteran supporters about the resources available to further assist the communities in which they live. Good morning, everybody. Today, we're privileged to have Tracie Timmerman. Now, she's a LVER. You've heard this word a lot. That's the Local Veterans Employment Representative. And she covers mainly the East Coast of Iowa. Is that about accurate? Or how far in do you go of Iowa?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay.
So I have just four areas that I cover now. So it used to be the entire eastern side, but then we hired another LVER to help. So I cover Burlington, Cedar Rapids, Iowa City, Davenport. So sort of half of the eastern side of Iowa, but it keeps me very busy.
That's a big territory. That's a big space. I know that.
It is.
That's a lot of territory to cover. And so tell us, let's just get right into the meat of it. What is a LVER? What is it you do? Because it is a valuable position.
It is. Yeah. So like you said, it's the local veteran employment representative. There's four of us in the state of Iowa. So we kind of cover the entire state broken up by different territories. And basically we're a liaison. So we're a liaison between the employer and any of the veterans that are seeking positions, any type of a job. So we have the transitioning service members that are coming to Iowa and settling down, looking for jobs. They're working with career planners. And then we also have veterans who've been in the civilian sector, but maybe they're just looking for a different opportunity. So they're also working with these veteran career planners out of the AJCs. So these veteran career planners are preparing them, helping with the job search, working resumes, doing interviews. And then once they're ready to go and they're job ready, then it comes over to the LVER. And so then the LVER will reach out to businesses and advocate on behalf of that veteran for them to be hired. And so they reach out to us because we're going out and as the LVERs and talking to businesses about hiring veterans. All of our companies in Iowa are veteran friendly. They just need to understand a little bit more about some of the programs that we offer and all of the veterans that are out here in the market looking for opportunities and looking for jobs. So as the liaison, we can help provide those qualified veterans to the businesses, but we can also provide those career opportunities to those veteran career planners so that they can get those in front of the veterans that are seeking positions.
Wow. So you said veteran friendly. So I've heard this term a lot, veteran friendly and then veteran ready. And it sounds like you can help those companies that say, hey, maybe I have veterans who work for me, or I want to attract more veterans, but you can help walk them through how to go from that step into veteran ready and really start making impact for veterans.
Yes, absolutely. So in Iowa, we're lucky to have home base Iowa. So there's a couple different parts of home base Iowa. So you had talked to Harrison Swift, the program manager for home base Iowa, and he reaches out to counties and he prepares them to be veteran ready, and they have incentive packages and things to attract veterans to their communities. Well, the LVERs work with the businesses to help the businesses become veteran ready. And we do that in different ways. So we have an onboarding session once a month with our businesses to come in and listen to what we're talking about and how we can help them become veteran ready. So there's some different criteria that we ask of the businesses. It's not complicated. We make it really easy for them because we want them to be able to have veterans go out and seek their businesses. So seek out their business. So what we do is we talk to them about how they can advertise on their website and show that they're veteran friendly by maybe promoting some of the veterans that they have that are in their business and highlighting them. We provide them with some psych armor training, which is totally free through the state of Iowa. We've purchased a license, so we give that free training to these businesses. Um, we help them learn how to create a veteran resource group, which is like an affinity group within their business. So veterans can come together and get that camaraderie that they're used to. They're used to speaking with each other and not worrying about the retaliation of, having maybe an issue and they want to talk to a fellow veteran about it. But those companies can also bring in some resources for those veterans, like the VA, and different resources to come in and talk to their veterans to make sure that they have all the resources that they need for mental health or post-traumatic stress disorder or finances or any of those other things that they might have going on. We talk to them about SkillBridge as well. And SkillBridge is an outstanding program that helps to attract those transitioning servicemen and women to Iowa and to these Iowa businesses. We have great businesses here, so we try to promote them through SkillBridge. So with SkillBridge, that allows these military members who are still on active duty to come and work with these civilian companies for the last 6 months of their service time. The companies do not pay anything. This is a free internship. It's a chance for the company to try out that service member and that service member kind of try out that company. The companies will put them through a training plan. There's a period of time that they'll just kind of train them and teach them how to transfer the skills that they earned while they were in the military and any education that they've gained while they were in the military and transfer that to the civilian sector. At the end of the internship, they can offer them full-time employment, or they don't have to. There's no obligation from either party, but it's a great way to expose that company to these service members. And we hope that will increase the veteran footprint by having SkillBridge.
Awesome. And you're a veteran yourself, right?
Mm-hmm. I am.
Yep.
I served in the Air Force for 26 years.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, if Brian watches this, he's probably going to yell at us because we didn't start off with saying about our military service.
I know.
Yeah, it was just dawned on me like, oh, Brian yelling.
Exactly.
So, I mean, was your transition easy? I mean, did you have all these resources when you got out? So you just kind of muddled through until...
It was not easy.
Yeah.
I did. I think every service member kind of gets out with sort of a different, idea of what they're going to do. So I served for 26 years. Prior to serving, I didn't really have a professional job, really, because I was so young. So I just worked, retail. But then after 26 years of being in the military, you're kind of trained a certain way, you speak a certain way. So it is a very tough transition. I did start my transition during COVID, which made it a little bit difficult as far as like any type of transition briefings and things like that. They were all virtual. And so it was a big learning curve for me. And when I got out after serving for so long and being a leader while I was in, I didn't want to do the leadership role anymore. And I really just wanted to take a break. So I got out and took a little bit of a gap period, but then realized that that I really wanted to work. So the gap was too hard for me because I was used to go after working for so long. And so my sister-in-law does work at the American Job Center and told me about the veteran career planners that are here in the job centers. I did not know that. And so now that's kind of my mission, is to make sure that all of these transitioning servicemen and women realize that there are resources here for them in every state, in every American Job Center. There are resources and veterans that are helping veterans to find jobs and careers after the military. So in teaching us how to transfer those skills, because I didn't know how to um, take a resume from all of my military reports and kind of make that into a civilian
Yeah.
resume. So I was a HR military personnel, but it doesn't quite equate to HR in the civilian sector.
Yeah, I hear a lot of veterans, we all kind of say the same thing is, how do you tell somebody what it is you did? And
Mm-hmm.
trying to get companies to understand what that value is. Because then again, on the other hand, you talk to a
Right.
company, hire somebody now for another veteran, they'll be like, wow, these people, they're go-getters. I explain them, they just go and they do, and they're always at because they come with this training and this background that a lot of other people don't have, and we tend to be
Right.
put up with quite a bit, right? So
Yes,
I imagine you talked to a lot of
absolutely.
those kind of skills.
I do. I do talk a lot about the characteristics that service members bring to their companies. So, when service members come in, they want to come in. And I think the biggest problem that they have with their service members is getting them to go home because they want to work. They want to come in and do well for that company. They want to bring in some innovation and they'll bring in some creative ideas and they're really all in. They're focused on the mission of the company, and that's one of the first things that I wanted to know too. What's the mission? What's the vision? And what are my expectations? And those are the things that we're trained to know about right in the beginning, because you don't want to just meet the expectations of your supervisors. As a military member, you want to exceed those expectations. And so I think that you're going to get these motivated, very, very dedicated service members, veterans that will come in and work for these companies and then can kind of propel them, to maybe new heights. I know that our civilians that have been in the civilian sector for a long time, same, they're doing a great job, but I think our veterans just bring in a whole different perspective when they come in because they have a worldview.
Yeah, and I was up talking to a company a couple months ago, and they don't have a veteran resource group. They
Mhm.
veterans they get together every other month, willy nilly. But when I went and spoke to them and shared some information, they really said, "Man, we need to have these kind of conversations more." And I'm like, "You do." And I
Mhm.
spoke to the HR on my way out, saying, "Listen, if you really want to empower your veteran team." Um, Throw them together. You don't have to buy them food all the time. Just give them a room, give them
Right.
20 minutes to talk, or whatever that
Mhm.
is, and you'll see magic
Mhm.
happen, especially with that group. Because we do like to, we do get out. We don't want to. A lot of us
Mhm.
don't want to touch the military. I'm tired of green. I'm tired of blue. But then after a while, you start
Yeah.
like, oh, I kind of missed something. I don't know what that is.
Yes.
And
Right.
so being able to explain that,
Yeah, you miss that camaraderie.
yeah, you do.
Absolutely. It's just that common language and a bond that service members have with each other, even though you and I didn't serve together at the same location. We still have some commonalities that we can talk about, and we still talk the same language as service members. And I think there's a deeper understanding when two veterans are talking, maybe about any issues that they're having personally or professionally. I think it's just a different type of a relationship when you get those veterans together, how they can come together and just understand each other.
Yeah. We do laugh at really weird things together. I've noticed that other
Yes.
people wouldn't necessarily find funny. We're like, no, well, maybe it's not funny, but I'm laughing anyway. It's our stress, I
Mhm.
guess, or something. Um, but
Right.
you mentioned that you can get veterans who are having issues together, and you let them talk. And if you can explain how do you explain to companies that value the resource group? I mean, do you just go in and say, listen, you
Mhm.
have to have one, or what would be a pitch idea?
Yeah, so no, we just talk to them about the value of it. They don't have to have one. But I think the value of having that, it just really does help the company. So, it's going to help their retention rates with their service members or their veterans as they're coming in and they realize that they have a group that they can come together and share ideas and share information and development, and just have that, group that they can just kind of bounce things off from with each other. And if the company is bringing in other resources for them to help them, the retention rates are helped because they feel valued themselves as an employee. They feel like that company really does care about them. If they're going to take that time to allow this group to come together on company time or go out and do different volunteer activities together as a resource group. They're promoting the company, but they're also promoting the fact that this company cares so much about this veteran resource group. They're allowing them to go out and, do some volunteer work during company time. So it really does help the retention rates. It helps them just be a happier employee. They want to take part of everything that's going on in the company, and you're going to see that they're a little bit more driven and care because the company cares about them.
And that makes complete sense. And for any company listening to this, if I'm sitting there, I'm like, wow, this sounds great. This is some great information. Hey, what do I do? How do I find you? Where do I go to get started in wanting to participate in veteran programs or Home Base Iowa?
Sure. So every American Job Center in every town or county has the DBOPs in their center. So these are the veteran career planners. And the LVERs are kind of spaced out, so I can provide my information to you. I take care of the lower eastern side of Iowa, and then we have a LVER for the northern side of the eastern area. And then Robert does the central, and Rick is on the western side, but I can provide all of my information, and we also have it on our website. So if they go out to the Iowa Workforce Development or Jobs for Veterans State Grant website for Iowa, our information is out there, but I will make sure I send it to you so that we can add it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll get that into this video and share it out with as many people, companies as I possibly can. Because you started off, sometimes it's just getting the word out. Like when we got out, I didn't know what a DBOP was. I didn't know it even existed. I just kind of bumbled along.
Right. Yes, yes. And so our Home Base Iowa also goes out to career fairs outside of the state, which is very helpful. And I just went myself as a LVER to Missouri to join Home Base Iowa because I thought maybe we'll just try it and see with a LVER going outside the state to a military installation to talk about SkillBridge, how that would work out. And I think that worked out pretty well, promoting the companies that we have here in Iowa and talking about those SkillBridge opportunities, because as you're talking to folks that are not in Iowa, they have no idea of what we do in this state because they think, first of all, they just think, agriculture, a corn state. They don't realize how many things that we have to offer. They also don't understand all of the veteran benefits that come along with living in Iowa. So our military check is not taxed. If you're 100% disabled, you get free property tax. And then the state alone gives you a $5,000 grant toward a new home if you purchase a home here. And so as I was talking to some of those servicemen and women, they were very fixed on going to states like Florida or Tennessee because they thought those had the best veteran benefits. But then when I started talking to them about the opportunities in Iowa, you can kind of see their eyes were widened a little bit and like maybe considering looking into Iowa.
Yeah, since I started doing this, I've heard good things about Indiana, Iowa, Tennessee, doing a lot of great things. Florida.
Right.
But maybe it is we're here in the central states and they always mix us up. I remember basic, you're from what? Idaho? You grow potatoes in Iowa? Or I don't know, Iowa's
right.
that whole
Yes.
military thing. But
Yes.
yeah, there seems to be a lot of great things that are coming out of home base Iowa and what you're doing out there. And every Iowan should be so proud of you, what you're doing on their path. And what are some last words you'd like to throw in? Put you on
For
the spot.
companies, just for companies, for everybody, just, reach out to your local veteran employment representative, reach out to your American Job Centers. We're here to help you. We're here to help promote those businesses that we have in Iowa. We're free service, and really we're not, we don't get a commission for anything. We're just here to help. We want our businesses to succeed in Iowa, and we want to help our veterans as well, and our transitioning servicemen and women. So I would love to see more veterans in our state. And so through the help of businesses, we can attract more veterans to Iowa.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And, it's veterans helping veterans, right? And we need to get out of there ourselves as veterans, find that local group, speak up. It doesn't have to be, the Legion, which is a great group, or the VFW, but there's a lot of groups out there. Get connected, because even if you're a gainfully employed veteran and you don't need services, still reaching out and making that connection. I mean, it builds that network. So
Yes.
your DevOps and saying, "Hey, I work in the mechanic at this company, and we have a position." Those kind of that kind of connection and that information can help give you the opportunity to swing into that company now and say, "Hey, here's some opportunities. We can help you fill that position.
Right.
Here's what I can offer. Here's what we can do."
Yes.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Yes.
So much.
Invite your leavers in. We would love to take a look at your companies.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, thank you, Tracie, so much for being on today. This is some great information. I hope everybody can take it and play with it and make it really work. So take care, and you have a great day. Thank you for taking the time to sit and learn with us. Make sure to join our YouTube channel and check out the River Valley Veterans Network on LinkedIn and Facebook. I look forward to catching up with you out on the road.